In a future where I don't know. Were you?
What?
I don't know. We're going to talk about Cyberpunk 2077. Ah, damn it. CD Projekt Red just dropped footage of their latest, greatest, most exciting game ever in the years. Cyberpunk 2077. We just got a 48 minutes.
Some might say it's a little excessive.
Yeah, it's 48 minutes of gameplay footage that was shown to industry insiders at E3 this year. They finally released it online, and so it's a behind the scenes of the gameplay. Roxy, I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that you do not know what Cyberpunk 2077 is.
I happen to know all the facts.
All right, well, go for it.
That's
the problem. Well, for those at home that don't know, all right?
I'm going to ask questions as if.
I appreciate that.
As if I didn't know. I could have you ask as if you didn't know, but I'll do this to make you look
I appreciate
really smart here. So when this was seen, was the hype around this real, and you've just been waiting for this moment, DJ?
Well, actually, I didn't know they were going to drop this footage for the rest of the world. I thought this was just going to be E3 people, but it shows you a little bit of the how the story dynamics work in the game. It shows you a little bit of the action. For those that don't know, Cyberpunk 2077 is from the same studio, CD Projekt Red, that created the Witcher games, which Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of the past ever. It's a really great third-person action RPG, fantasy, adventure, whatever. And so this is along those lines in that it is another action RPG. However, unlike Witcher, this is going to be a first-person action game, or a first-person action RPG, like a Halo or Fallout, what have you. So within this crazy amount of footage that we got, you find out we've got customizable body mods, your character is fully customizable, weapons, gear, vehicles, the whole thing. The story alters depending on the decisions you make in the game, which is what you're looking for in a game like this.
What's crazy though is that it's not like you get an A or B choice for something. You get like 7 decisions you could make.
Yes.
And that's for literally everything you do throughout the game, and it can drastically alter the gameplay experience for every single player that plays it.
Does that excite you guys because you can play something completely different, or does it sometimes frustrate you that you can't hit up your friends and be like, oh, when you get to this, or this is what I'm seeing, and they have a completely different experience, so you don't get to share that with them?
Personally, it gives me anxiety.
I love it. I'm on the exact other side of the spectrum of Sam. The more customizability a game gives me, the more it feels like my personal experience. I guess the more it makes me feel like I'm telling a story, the more invested I am. One of my favorite game series ever is the Mass Effect games. And along those lines, games like that where you kind of, Fallout is a good example of this too, where you kind of get to define your adventure, is more worth my time and investment to me.
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah, 100%. And of course, this is along those lines too, because it's Cyberpunk is actually based off a popular tabletop RPG it was originally called Cyberpunk. The most popular iteration of it is Cyberpunk 2020.
And did you play this game?
I did not play this game. I did not even know it existed
Bummer,
before. I'm probably like a lot of people that didn't know the tabletop RPG existed before the game was announced. And that book, that tabletop RPG is based off a book called Hardwired by Walter John Williams, which is also based off of another book. That rabbit hole goes down for a minute.
I read all of them. Yeah, they were all really good.
So that's kind of what spawned Cyberpunk 2077. There's no release date yet, and personally, I'm happy if they take their time, because there's plenty of other games coming out that are going to chew up a significant amount of my free time.
If you had to predict, when would this get released?
Earliest it has to be, I'm going to say probably winter of 2019 at the earliest.
Okay. But you think that easily could be pushed to 2020, maybe even 2021?
Yeah, because I know with a lot of these games, you'll get, they announced that they were working on this game, I think 4 years ago with some stills. This is the first time we've had any gameplay footage, but they had some concept art that they showed, I think before Witcher 3 came out. So these games, they're so massive, they take forever to come out. And this one, they revealed through this footage and other stuff, all the action takes place in a place called Night City, which has its own like boroughs and neighborhoods that have different personalities. Not only can you customize your weapons, there's vehicles, which I was stoked about. When there was a part where the main character jumps in a car and starts driving, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm into it. It's something I always wish they would introduce in the Fallout, having vehicles. I think that'd be rad.
Was there anything that took place in the 48 minutes that caused you to be like, uh-oh?
No. Not at all. Not at all. I think the world is very interesting, and the more I find out about it, the more interesting it is because you can have random character encounters that you can create. Like you can take people back to your apartment for sexy time. But also, one of the things that really fascinated me, this wasn't in the 48 minutes, but it's something that's been out there. If you like, let's say you run into a Spanish speaker in there, there's no translation for it. For us non-Spanish speakers, but you can buy a mod that will help your character understand it, and the more money you spend on the mod, the better the translation will be. That's how customizable this world is. That's how invested they are in making it feel like a living experience. I will say one thing that felt kind of like an uh-oh.
I think I know what you're
The one thing is they're like, this world is so lifelike, and it's so much like the world from the RPG. You walk out, and these ads customize themselves to you, and they're in-game ads. They're not ads for like, go buy a Sprite. But it's still like, I gotta deal with ads in my fucking video games
Basically,
too. Like, I don't need this in my life.
When your character walks outside and you walk in front of a billboard, it will customize and say your name on it. It's like, hey, if you walk 20 feet that way, you can buy a Sprite. Isn't a Sprite great? Your name, and then you walk over there, and it shoots it out at you, and it'll just take money.
But it's not. It's an in-game version of a Sprite that can give you health. So it's not like, I mean, as far as we know, it's not like actual products in our world. Which thank God I wouldn't buy that game because I don't need more.
Smart.
I don't need more ads in my. It's an interesting way to integrate ads. I don't need it. But yeah, for me, I love stuff in this kind of like cyberpunk genre. It's the name of the genre. I love this stuff. And so if you are interested in cyberpunk but are like, oh shit, I gotta wait another like year and a half for it, some stuff you can do to whet your appetite. You can watch Blade Runner. Highly recommend that. If you're like, which version? The most recent director's cut version is rad. I recommend that. There's also 2049, but if you haven't seen the original Blade Runner, go check that out. Also, you can check out Altered Carbon on Netflix, which is another very much a Blade Runner-esque show with a cool concept about people's consciousness being ported into other bodies. And also this world, the world of Cyberpunk 2077 has like mega corporations running the world and mega cities, which remind me a lot of Dread. And if you haven't seen Dread, I'm not talking about Judge Dredd starring Sylvester Stallone. I'm talking about Dread. Which is great. Yeah, is amazing. It's an amazing hardcore action movie. Highly recommend it.
Not a fan of Steven Spielberg's most recent summer blockbuster. When was that movie? Yeah.
No, I don't need that. Also, if you're looking for a video game, if you haven't checked out Witcher 3, one that'll chew up your time until that game comes out, until 2077 comes out. It's amazing. Witcher 2 and Witcher 3 are great games. So that is all we know so far about Cyberpunk 2077. Let us know in the comments down below whether you're excited about it. Roxy, are you excited about it?
Yeah, because I know all the things.
There it is. Please like and subscribe and comment and click on the things about the things and go to onlystupidanswers.com and join us Thursdays to watch live.